Welcome back to an all-new episode of the Zero Check Podcast, episode 128. Good evening, my friends.
Hey.
Now the listeners know this is not a rerun.
It's not a rerun.
Not a
rerun.
We are live.
Not in syndication yet.
It's not a Clips episode. Well, I guess it could be. I don't know.
It could be.
Do you think there's people out there that like put our podcast on shuffle?
I think that's the best way to. I think that would be the best way to listen to our podcast is on shuffle.
Yeah, that'd be an experience right there.
Memento style.
Memento style. If you guys were a Memento character, if you were Leonard from Memento, you'd have one that's like, don't promote Jubilost tattooed somewhere.
He's a fucking John G.
Don't trust whoever, I don't know. Don't trust Og Julianus and Taunton. Or maybe you should trust him, I don't know.
Og has to tattoo everything he tries to remember on himself. He would just be letters. His skin would just be letters, just ink everywhere.
Yeah, you'd have like a bunch of random alphabet letters going down your leg.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that kind of sucks for a small character because you don't have much
Right.
space.
You're limited.
Right?
You're very limited.
Fellas, I have an agenda in front of me, and it is a very good agenda. There are 3 items on this agenda. The first item is called Bus Spec Sheet. We've been doing theater of the mind a little bit with the bus. We're going to talk a little bit more about the bus, which is in horrible shape right now, by the way. And then the second item on this agenda is where I talk through a mistake that I've made in the previous encounter, and we have to decide what's to be done about it. And then the third item is back to the fight, subjugation. That's what I've written here. So Brad, will you tell us about the bus? What's going on?
Yeah, so I don't have anything set in stone right now, but I'd like to have like a set drawing of what the layout of the bus is, because I feel like there's been some confusion.
Yeah.
And then Bill came up with the idea of like, hey, we should have a daily, like, this is what we do at the end of the night. We close the windows. We lock the doors. Right. We stop the ventilation systems through the roof that allow gases to pass through it so easily.
You turn on the filtration system.
Right. If this is something we're going to use, like, it should be like a map, like that you can cut and paste on each of the little spots.
We should have a bus map. Yeah. We should have a bus map.
We all have our own bunks.
Yeah. Now we won't have to imagine where the gear chests are. And
It turns out the interior of the bus is super important.
it turns out.
Yeah.
And the exterior.
The exterior.
And the roof.
And the roof.
Whether or not it can be put into drive if you're familiar, discharges some electricity into it.
That's not a bug. That's a feature.
It's compartmentalized so you can seal off portions of it if it gets out of control. And you can just go seal a door.
Right. Yeah. Like, what is that game called? Where you...
And then each portion has an escape route, either escape hatch, either top or the bottom, depending on how you need to get out.
FTL. Like that game FTL, where you can seal the doors and vent the oxygen out.
I just would like windows that are closed. That's all.
Yeah. Look, I feel you. I understand why that's become a concern. I respect it. Yeah, I get it. The bus is never going to smell the same after.
We would have been better off in a tent.
Yes.
Maybe you would have been better off in a tent. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a wonderful idea, and I look forward to. I'm there's like little map making programs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of digging into it.
So yeah, have fun, sir, and post it on our Discord server and let the people give suggestions maybe for how it ought to look. Brad's like, yeah, right. I'm designing the bus.
Input welcome, quote unquote.
Thank you for your input. We'll take that into consideration.
Oh my. Fellas, I made a mistake on these oozes. I misapplied their aura. Let me read the aura to you, and then you can join me in the realization that I really fucked up. This is Enliven Foliage. This is a aura. It is a 20-foot aura. The ooze constantly emits supernatural vapors that cause nearby plants to grow rapidly and writhe and grasp at anything and everything within the emanation. The area becomes difficult terrain for non-verdurous ooze creatures. That would have severely impeded Sirio's ability to run during his jaunts through the woods.
I thought we accounted for that.
You had me make a save.
Because that once he got out of range.
Well, once he got out of range, but here's the next sentence. When a creature starts its turn in this area, it must succeed at a DC 23 reflex save or take a negative 10-foot circumstance penalty to its speeds. That's in addition to the difficult terrain. So if you fail the reflex save, you're in difficult terrain, and you take a 10-foot circumstance penalty to your speed. So a 10-foot speed becomes a 0-foot speed, or a 15-foot speed becomes a 5-foot. So
maybe he magically got an extra boost of speed because of all that natural air coming in from the windows being open.
Right.
So maybe it just balances itself out.
Well, here's what I thought of when I was on my commute this morning. I was like, this bus is their home. And so it's not difficult terrain for them around the bus. But I thought this was an opportunity. Here's my proposal. We lay to rest the owl bear controversy about his home in exchange for not, because you guys now have run around in the woods without the difficult terrain from the oozes,
Well, I feel like it's like chess. The move's already been made.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And there will never be a time that I forget how you just skimmed that rule with the owlbear.
Yeah.
Gigantic owlbear coming out of like a little cave hole.
It was his home. He knew how to navigate that area, just as you knew how to navigate the woods around this. So, I mean, I'm thinking we just leave it alone, or do you guys want the difficult terrain? Because it's going to fuck Sirio over so bad.
I don't think, so the only thing we missed is him having difficult terrain and the -10, right? Because it was when he was on the ground that he failed the reflex or the what save did he have to make? He had to make a save and he failed that.
Yeah, I mean, we could rewind my
penalty.
movement. I would still, instead of going around the bus, I'd move directly away from them. And I'd still have enough speed to totally get away.
Well, I even think when he first rolled off the bus and stood up and ran into the woods, he wouldn't have been able to get as far. The oozes would have caught up to him and would have been beaten on him earlier in the encounter. And plus, I think if he'd failed the save and taken the 10-foot negative penalty to his speeds, I don't know that he could have crawled off the bus at all to begin with, because when you're on the ground, you have a 5-foot speed. So with the 10-foot penalty, he might have been wrapped up and stuck on the bus. So I don't know. There's all kinds of problems with this, but I think it's fine.
I feel like it didn't really give us an edge, this rule being missed, because we're still getting the shit kicked out of us.
And now we can't move. So that's,
yeah.
I don't know how that helps us at all.
And we can't hit anything. So yeah.
The turns would have been different, both ends.
Yeah.
We would have done different stuff.
I would challenge you that the oozes on top of the bus did not have access to the foliage that would have been needed to trap him. Like, where are those plants?
Yeah, maybe I should have given them more time to grow up through the bus.
Unless, Brad, you grew grass on top of the bus while you were building it.
Oh, shit. You know what? There was
Mitchell is eco-conscious, right?
There was a putting green up there.
Yeah. You guys, green spaces are all the rage in corporate America. Maybe you've got a nice green space on the top of the bus. You got a green space on the top of the bus now, I'll tell you that. Fine. So I think part of me wants to go ahead and apply the difficult terrain, but I don't know. I mean, that's just going to...
Can you tell me how there'd be difficult terrain on top of the bus? Like, reread the rule again? Like, does it say it turns greenery into...
Do they grow their own stuff?
Right. Do they produce their own green stuff?
So this is an aura.
Sure.
The verdurous ooze constantly emits supernatural vapors that cause nearby plants to grow rapidly and writhe and grasp. So perhaps there are no plants nearby the roof of the bus, but there are nearby plants now.
Right. But let's say like you were on the second floor of a house. Would these oozes, like if they were inside the house, would there be difficult terrain on that second floor?
I think that if there are nearby plants, then the plants grow all over this 20-foot aura really fast and cause the area to become difficult terrain. But to me, I accept that perhaps there's no difficult terrain on the top of the bus. I think that the plants have grown up and into the bottom floor of the bus like crazy.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. But like, I think he would have been able to roll off the roof is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, that's fair. Yeah, he definitely would have rolled off the roof. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's apply the difficult terrain moving forward, and we'll just sort of, not worry too much about how we got where we are. I think Chris is right. I think it would have been a different problem that would have been worked a little bit differently. But the only person this is really going to affect right now is Sirio, who's outside the bus, still kind of running around with these oozes.
It would have affected Bolton getting off the bus too, rolling over dry.
Bolton.
But yeah,
well,
his speed is 40, so like he's not very far out of the bus right now.
Well, okay. Are we good with that? And you guys do not want to give up your grudge on the owlbear. Okay,
I'm just gonna keep that one.
Okay,
in my pocket.
That makes sense to me.
We're gonna hold that to the final episode, Mike.
We're carrying the grudge, even though we killed his whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's right. Oh.
Maybe if he wouldn't have been able to just run around willy nilly, his son might have lived.
That's a good point.
Oh man, don't say that. That's sad. And now we know that the little owlbear cub
Even
was a
though
boy.
it was his home, he got stuck.
Oh no, plot hole. Yeah, that stupid owlbear. I can't remember now if I think the module just has me place the owlbear in there. I think I might have stuck him in a hole. I can't remember now. I think I was trying to be manipulative, but you guys could not be manipulated. I think I was trying to present him as harmless, this little owlbear. But it's not about the...
Maybe curled up in the fetal position on the floor would have been a better
I know.
than in a hole roaring or growling or what the fuck he was doing.
He was moaning in pain. That's what he was doing.
Especially after I shot him with an arrow.
Yeah. You guys want to, I don't know. This encounter is really kind of in bad shape right now. You guys are amid this fight with 4 macaroni and cheese oozes on this bus. Things are pretty crazy. Can we do a health point audit real quick? Would that be a way to kind of orient the listener? Rundell currently sits at dying 1, having failed and then made a recovery check back to back. I have Ogjulinus and Tompton at... I love this new virtual tabletop. I've got Ogjulinus and Tompton clocking in at 30 health points. Mitchell has 68, which is max. That's very nice. The pig has max. Drycolme is stable on the ground and unconscious. I've got Bolton with, 14 HP. And of course, Sirio Xavier Sertova with 21. The oozes have taken significant damage. I'm kind of looking at them. Yeah, none of them look super healthy, although their HP are all per se cut in half since they got split. We ended with Mitchell's turn last time.
Spectacular turn.
Spectacular turn. Bolton running over Drycolme, leaving tire tracks across his chest as Bolton leaves the bus. So man alive, that's going to bring us into, I think we're maybe in round 4, possibly round 5. We bring it back around to the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Ogjulinus and Tompton.
Oh man, what is Og going to do? Og is not doing great here. We'll go ahead and start with we'll do a knowledge check just to try to identify, get these things off guard to him. So let's roll that, see what happens. It's like a total of 14.
Value
not a
on
great
that.
roll.
Yeah.
Don't know. All right. Oh boy. Let's go ahead. We're going to try an unarmed strike on the one right in front of me. I've still got this. I need to take Stupefy off. That round ended.
Oh, yes, it did.
Not big help. And is dry is not threatening, right? So he is not off guard.
Neither Dry nor Rundell. Right.
Okay. All right. Plus 14. Not great. Total of 16.
You know, these ACs are low on these oozes. That is sufficient to hit that ooze.
Right. And then I'm going to have to roll a save, yeah?
Yeah, we'll start with that. I need, please, let's see here, corrosive surface, a DC 23 reflex save from Og.
Ooh, there's no way I'm going to make that.
I believe in you.
No way.
I believe in you.
I might.
You can do
Let's
it.
see. Almost. Didn't quite make it. 21.
21. Okay, I'm going to roll a 2d4 plus 2 acid on you.
All right.
Oh my god, I maxed it out. 10 damage
did.
to Og.
Haha, but to you, I gave you 8 damage. So again,
Another
-2.
great trade.
Yeah, another great trade.
Okay. Yeah, I think that yeah, good. Yeah, good job. Good job, Og. But you got
Yep.
2 actions left.
Yeah, and I got 3 actions, or I got 1 action left. What else? Is there anything else I can do?
I think you should rev up the bus and let it drive off into the gorge while everyone jumps off, because this is.
I don't think I can get to it. Where are these windows at? Am I standing? Could Ob jump out of a window here and get out of the bus?
So hold me to this now, but the back 3 or 5, 10, the back 15 feet of the bus is the only area without windows.
Oh.
So like where Mitch is, because that's like the sleeping area. It's
Okay.
like where you don't have any
Sure,
windows.
sure.
So like the front is all windows.
Yeah, you can jump out the bus right where you're at.
All right, I'm gonna take an action and I'm gonna jump. I guess 5 feet down out of the bus.
I suppose, but you know what? We already fucked up that aura again. You started your turn in the
I did.
enlivened foliage aura. Let's get that DC 23 reflex save.
Yeah. See if I roll better. Hey, I did. That's a total of 33.
Oh, man. Okay, so no penalty to your speeds, but you are in difficult terrain.
All right. So yeah, he's just, you can move me 5, 10, just move me like 10 feet outside the bus, I think.
Yeah, you scramble out of the bus and are standing on the ground now outside the bus. Very nice. Fine. Sirio.
All right, so I'm in the aura of one of these oozes or both of them. Do I have to make 2 saves, or how does that work?
It looks like you are in the aura of one of the oozes, but I will have you just make 1 save.
Okay. 18 plus 11, that's a 29.
Nice.
29. Okay, so you
Nice.
pass the enliven foliage check. The aura is you're just in difficult terrain to the extent that the aura affects you.
Okay, so, and you said it was 20 foot?
It's a 20-foot aura. I can even draw that on the board for you, my friend.
So yeah, my speed is 40, so how much would it take for me to get out of...
Aren't you in wolf form?
Yes.
I thought it was more than that for some reason.
There. That's the aura.
Oh, nice. There we go. That's a big aura.
Yep.
So really it would cost me 15 feet of movement to get out of it.
Looks like it. Yeah, if you were just to run straight north, well, every square is... Oh, I see your path. Yep, 15 feet if you took the most direct path out.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting out of it.
Okay, so you scramble out of this enliven foliage.
So in my first action, I've still got 25 feet of speed left. I'm going to continue moving away from them.
Okay.
Another 25 feet.
Perfect.
And then I'm getting away from these things. And it looks like there's a stream up here to the north. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's accurate, we'll say.
So we are bounded.
It's a small stream. It's not a notable piece of terrain, but it's just a small little brook that goes through.
Yep. Okay. I've got 80 feet. So since we're kind of bounded by this creek, I'm gonna book it across the map. Right up next to this creek, there's a couple logs between me and the bus. But I'm gonna move my guy, and hopefully the oozes lose notice of me since I'm way up here.
And you did what I was kind of wondering if you would do. You've looped around the bus. So like if the oozes were to take the most direct path to you, that path now goes through the bus. So it seemed to me, if I'm a bunch of oozes, I'm crawling into the bus, try to get to you. Well, very good. Ooh, it's Rundell's turn. Okay, so Rundell needs to make a recovery check. He is dying 1. And we're just going to do this. Rundell. Ooh, natural 18 on that. Rundell
Nice.
stabilizes at unconscious. Good job, Rundell.
Stay down, Rundell. Stay down.
Whoops, I just increased all his dying ranks. Oh, I just killed Rundell.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Rundell, come
He's
back.
dying. Oh no.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, whoa, there we go. Okay. There. Oh, okay. He's okay. He's good. Oh man, that scared me. All right.
All the
I was like,
statuses
feels.
popping up. It looked like a JRPG.
I know. Well, I was like, is Foundry going to delete Rundell if I accidentally set him to dying 5? Fuck, that's not good. Okay, so Rundell stabilizes. Okay, it is time for the oozes. All right, we're going to start with Sirio's oozes, and they do what I said they were going to do. The oozes begin crawling their butts into the van. And it looks like, oh yeah, I got some choices. Okay. The oozes, the first ooze is going to crawl into the bus through this back window, and he ends up in melee with the prone Mitchell. He does that across 2 actions. And his last action is going to be an attack versus Mitchell. It's that good old...
How does he know that I'm there?
pseudopod. Because they know. They got tremor sense,
Strict rules around tremor sense, if that's what it is.
Well, it's motion sense, which I keep saying tremor sense. It's motion sense 60 feet. A verdurous ooze can sense nearby creatures through vibration and air or water movement. So I just think it doesn't say anything about
so they can sense you when you breathe.
I guess.
Okay.
They can. They can sense nearby creatures. I mean, it would just nullify the encounter if everyone's stay still. The oozes are here. Just the oozes just crawl off. I just don't think that works for me.
Mitchell, you haven't moved this whole time, or did you get something out of your bag?
Like I've commanded, like I grabbed something out of my bag and I commanded Mitchell for like 2 turns.
Opened up your thing. You've put a hand in a
couple
gauntlet.
turns ago, like when they were up on the roof.
let's see what happens. Here comes the pseudopod versus the prone Mitchell. That is a 5 on the die for a total of 22.
Prone without armor. And since I'm in my bed still, it's an armored bed, so that does not meet my AC.
It's armored bed.
No, it's
Mitchell's armored bed.
Chainmail sheets.
chainmail sheets. Well, it's going into the new ride for sure.
You got out of the bed and then fell back down into the bed after you were made unconscious by the thing. Hey, here comes the damage to Mitchell. Let's see, total of 19 damage, both bludgeoning and acid. Oof, I'm getting better at applying damage. Now, we talked about this back door. Isn't there a back door to this bus?
Yep, there is.
And was it open or was it never opened?
It hasn't been opened yet.
It has not been opened. Okay. So the second ooze is going to crawl up against the bus and across 3 actions because it was over a little bit more. The second ooze crawls into the bus and he finishes his turn, I believe, right there. Yeah, he can make it over and begin swarming Mitchell, I think, or he can attack Rundell. So why don't we do a 50-50? There is, on odds, it's Rundell. On evens, it's Mitchell. Rundell's now wounded 1. Oh, it's odd. Okay. All right. So we're going to have to do something here because that's on Rundell. Rundell's wounded 1. A hit would be dying 2. A crit would be dying 3. Okay. And Rundell, I see him right now. He has an armor class of 22 for some reason. Does he have the unconscious?
He has his armor on.
He has his armor on, but I think it took the unconscious thing off of him.
Well, because, he got stabilized, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's still unconscious. That dropped his AC down to 18. Yeah, okay. That's the correct AC for him. Okay. All right, so this ooze targets Rundell and is going to pseudopod him. Oh, no. It's a total of 36.
36.
Rundell's going to jump to dying 3.
Wow. Oh, shit.
That is the end of those 2 oozes' turns. This would be Dry Colmay's turn in the order, but Dry is stabilized and unconscious on the ground. And I got 2 more oozes all around Dry Colmay. Let's move on to oozes C and D. Ooze C begins pursuing Og and possibly Bolton out of the bus. Takes his first action and crawls out of the bus. He's now presented with 2 targets, both of whom have hurt him. I'm going to do a 50-50. On an odd, it's going to be Og. On an even, it's going to be Bolton. It's an even. So he's going to pseudopod at Bolton. Does Bolton get dying ranks? He's only got like 12 HP.
Yeah.
He does. Okay. Yeah. But you could rebuild him with a day's work or something?
With a day's work if he fails, like all of his dying checks. But it's basically the same as a player, except you can't heal him with normal healing. You've got to use crafting checks to give him medicine checks, basically.
I see. Okay. Here is the pseudopod strike versus Bolton. Let's see. Total of 27 versus Bolton.
That'll be a hit.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be a hit.
And just a little bit of damage to this guy. 20 damage.
That takes him to 0. Dying 1.
Oh, no, Bolton.
Bolton. The ooze turns. They want to eat these oozes. They want to eat. The ooze turns, subject to the multiple attack penalty, and targets Og. 25.
That's a hit.
Now, any reaction to help you on that?
It wouldn't. You got me by 3, so it wouldn't help.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa.
Hey, guess what my HP was?
What?
20.
20.
Oh my God.
Guess how much damage you did?
20. 20. Okay. Og to
Og's
dying
down.
1 gets put in the order before ooze C. And it's time for ooze D. Ooze D begins crawling toward Mitchell across 2 actions, slithering toward you. And with his third action against the prone Mitchell, a strike at a plus 17. 22.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Bummer. Okay. Damage roll. 17 damage.
Sirio's going to have to go back. He's going to be busy writing fucking want ads.
So you're going to need to run.
End of the oozy onslaught. I think the pig maybe just is kind of doing its thing right now. I think the pig is going to jump out a window and run off into the forest with Dry being unconscious. Dry, is that what he'd do?
I don't know. Maybe, or he would run to me. I mean, he's
I guess what animal companions normally do when their people go down to zero.
There's language in there about them kind of quote unquote defending themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe the pig at this point is just sort of cowering in the back of he's been ignored thus far.
Mikey, I think Mike
now.
wants the pig to run away, or he wants the pig to be in the encounter. I think the pig just sitting here on the map is making him antsy.
Well, the pig would have to get out a window. It would have to go through the oozes to do that.
So the pig is kind
nowhere
of
it can
trapped
go.
in the back of the bus. Yeah. Does the pig know how to open the door to the back of the bus?
He's a very smart pig.
He's very smart.
Because he's smart as an ooze.
Just clever pig.
Let's make the pig. I'm going to do a intellect check for the pig.
What the fuck?
Why not? Should we have a little fun? Should we have fun?
Gotta be twice as smart as that fucking pig from Green Acres.
Oh, the pig just rolled a 0, a d20 minus 4. The pig does not know how to open the door.
One dumb pig.
Pig begins squealing like crazy with everything going on here. Okay. Fine. That's going to bring us to Mitch.
And we've seen these things don't have a reactive strike. All right, Mitch is going to... So one of his actions, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but he put on his gauntlet and he picked up a alchemist fire.
That's right.
Yep. He's going to stand up for one action.
Nice. I'm already liking this turn. I clicked off prone for you.
Fuck, I wish I could get one more action. I want to open the door, let pig out. I'm going to move to the back of the bus,
Okay.
which I think with the movement penalties... Well, let me do the save.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
What was that?
DC 23 reflex.
Nope. It's a 21.
21. Okay, so you are in difficult terrain with a -10 penalty to your speed. So you've got a speed of 15.
Still
and
make it
every
to that.
square you move is 10. So you can move 1 square.
Oh, just one square?
Yeah.
That's fine. And then I'm going to chuck said potion at the ooze on the south of the stack here. So,
Very nice. Okay, so 3 oozes stacked up right now. Okay.
all right. So I'm going to throw this alchemist fire. That is a 30.
Yep, that will hit that
crit.
ooze for sure.
Okay. But since they're immune to crits, it doesn't get the crit. Didn't get the critical. Okay.
Yep.
So
So you get
it doesn't start burning.
Sure.
well, yeah, but yeah, you get the splash on all 3 of those oozes, and you get the main damage on the ooze that you attacked. And which ooze did you attack?
The one I don't see names on them, but it's the one closest to me to the south.
Got it.
So it splashes all 3 of them. That's the idea. I'll just hit the damage button, see what that pops up there.
Nice. Looks like 11 damage to the main ooze and 2 splash damage to the other oozes.
Okay, so I got it moved throw. Yep, that's my turn.
Correction, that was 9 damage to the main target, but it is on fire now, which is nice. So let me remind me to roll that save when it is that ooze's turn. Okay, we're going to move to Sirio Xavier Sertova. Sirio, here's what you see. You see through the open door, Dry Colmay unconscious. You see Bolton breaking down unconscious. You see that Og has crawled out of the bus. You watch as that ooze renders him unconscious. You see Mitchell standing, well, maybe you don't know it's Mitchell, but you see the alchemist fire fly through the air through a window and splash against an ooze. You hear Pig squealing. What do? You do not see Rundell.
But I can kind of see Dry in the doorway there.
You can see Dry in the doorway.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think I have a couple options here. I can either delay until everyone else is gone and done stuff and go right before the oozes, or take a drastic measure. It's a bit of metagaming, but I want to see what Rundell does on his recovery check.
Combat rounds are kind of, what's the word, esoteric anyway. Like, you, the player, have the ability to delay, and
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's turn-based, but it's happening simultaneously, so it's
Yeah. All right, so Rundell, I have him at dying 3. Okay, so let's talk about where we're at right now with Rundell Joffritis. He's got Die Hard. He dies at dying 5. If he critically fails this recovery check, I believe he dies, but Here's the deal, though. He's wounded 1. So I think that if he regularly fails the recovery check, he gains 2 wounded ranks, because every time you gain a dying rank, you also gain a dying rank equal to your wounded rank. Let's hop into the dying rule and just read this through, because I mean, it could be that Rundell has like a 65% of chance of dying right now. While you're dying, attempt a recovery check at the start of each of your turns. This is a flat check with a DC equal to 10 plus your current dying value to see if you get better or worse. Okay, we know he's dying 3, so his DC is 13. On a critical success, your dying value is reduced by 2. On a success, your dying value is reduced by 1. On a failure, increased by 1, plus your wounded value, if any. That's what it says. Failure, your dying value increases by 1, plus your wounded value, if any. And critical failure, your dying value increases by 2, plus your wounded value, if any. So, fellas, that seems pretty definitive to me. I'm on player core 411 right now. If Rundell rolls a 13 or down, he dies. He dies.
Does he have toughness?
He does not have toughness. So yeah, his DC would go down by 1. This is sad. I don't want Rundell to die. That'd be terrible.
He served well for 5 years, after we stole him from Noleski.
So does he still get to show up in flashbacks when we're doing things during the 5-year time hop?
He's not dead yet.
Oh, he's not dead yet. I'm sorry. I'm writing his obituary already.
I feel sad. I don't want to roll this, but I guess I'm going to do it.
You want somebody else to roll it?
In the virtual. No, I need to do this. It's right. My fault. I hit him with an ooze. I did it. Here I go. Natural 19.
Did anyone else see that kind of tip onto the 1 there for a little while? Or was that just me? Because I
rolled a 19. Wow. I'm relieved. Okay, so his DC 13, he has success. He reduces his dying value by 1. He goes to dying 2. Oh, man.
Until he gets hit with a fireball.
I wanted to know if it was going to be my fault or if Rundell was going to just die on his own. But I still think I'm going to do it, right?
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Well, no, you're just going to kill him.
No, it won't.
I have other options, but I think this would be the most. I mean, you get a lot of bang out of what's fireball going off in the bus.
Okay, well, okay, so let's talk about this for a second, because let's read the taking damage rule, because actually this might not kill Rundell.
No, it won't.
If you take damage while you already have the dying condition, increase your dying condition value by 1, or by 2 if the damage came from an attacker's critical hit or your own critical failure. So he's going to have to roll a reflex save with all those debuffs. And this is what killed your poor dwarf Tor when I blew that rule on you once. But no, he gets a save, whereas I did not give a save to your poor dwarf Tor. His blood is on my hands. I'm sorry about that, Chris. It was 3 years ago. I'm so sorry about it. Okay, but
that's another one you're never going to live down.
I know. I love you guys. If you have the wounded condition, remember to add the value of your wounded condition to your dying value. So that means that if Rundell critically fails his save, he will gain 2 dying ranks plus his wounded value. So he dies. He goes from dying 2 to dying 5 and dies. If he passes his save, he will gain 1 dying value plus his wounded value. So he'll go to dying 4. So, couldn't you just put the fireball at the back of the bus? Wow, maybe if that door had been propped open, you could funnel the fireball fire up the bus and spare poor Rundell.
I want to try to tag all 4 of these guys. Oh, so I think I may hit dry as well.
So what's the blast radius on this thing?
It's a 20-foot burst.
Well, there it is. Look at that. I just put it in a place that tags Mitchell and Og, all 4 oozes, and spares dry and Rundell.
I like that.
All right.
I don't like that.
Fine.
Move the thing south so it tags the oozes, Rundell, and dry. I don't want to tag a bunch of our guys.
Well, I think if you do it this way, Rundell and Dry are both
south. So the north edge of the circle is only hitting the oozes.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yeah, he wants to put it
because
down
your
here.
range on this is so massive.
you can throw it through the bus. So this fire. Oh my God, this is awesome.
Throw it over the bus.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it doesn't travel. It appears, where I can see and explodes from there.
There you go.
So I always picture it like leaving your hand and
Mike, he wants to
traveling
get
and
this
exploding,
too.
but that's
Rendell's
not what
taking the
happens.
hit, Mike.
Right.
Can you go up north?
Rendell's taking
We
the
don't
hit.
care. Yeah,
all-
he's
all
not trying to
fours is-
save Rendell.
Well, wait. Okay, I understand, but the way I had it, you could spare Rundell and hit all 4 oozes,
And
can't you?
2 player characters.
Yeah, but they might. Yeah, I mean, it's just Og. It's not just Og, but Og. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, Donnie.
It's just another one of Donnie's
So
characters.
you could hit everybody that's. You could basically put it in a place where you're going to hit Rundell, Mitch, and the pig. Right?
Yeah, you can hit Rundell, Mitch, and the pig.
So that's, and the pig and Mitch are up still, so we're not going to go down in dying ranks.
Yeah, or you can hit. It's basically, it's between Rundell and Og, and it's really what it comes down to. You can position it in a way that hits Og and Mitch, and
Or
all
Rundell.
4 oozes, or you can put it in a place that hits Mitch, all 4 oozes, and Rundell.
No, I'm saying it hits all 4 oozes, Rundell, and Dry.
Oh, you want to hit Dry?
Wait, what?
You want to do this?
I mean, that's fine.
You want to do that?
Just because the way because Dry doesn't have any, he's not dying right now, whereas Og
right.
is dying.
No, I'm stabilized.
Yeah, Dry is unconscious though, so he's got a wounded rank. So if Dry critically fails, he'll go to dying 3.
Be fine. I
Yeah,
can
it'd be
play
the
it
same.
back.
I guess it'd be the same situation with Og. If he crit failed, he'd go to dying 3.
Yeah.
It's tough to pitch this because it's my character, but if it was somebody else, I'd be pitching it the same way. If you were to knock Mitch out, you would be the only player character that's conscious.
That's a fucking dungeon crawl Carl move right there.
Yeah.
Knock everybody out.
I mean, technically, you could cast that and then a single heal to
He's
save
got to be
whoever.
with that one action
goes
heal. He's
into
got to be
dying.
within range.
Yeah.
It's melee.
Wow.
Well, Syria's the one throwing the
Well, if
fireball.
Mitch goes down, do you think the oozes would chase me? Because I could just kite the oozes in a circle, and I think I could deal with them.
I mean, I've been pretty charitable with moving on to new targets, but I mean, at some point, man.
Yeah, I think you have to define motion sense before we make any more of those calls. It's like you got to make is motion sense breathing?
Well, here's what motion sense says. The ooze can sense nearby creatures through vibration and air or water movement. So vibration, air movement, or water movement. So the breathing, I suppose, is how because that's air movement, right? Vibrations, water movement. So when you're dying, you're bleeding out or otherwise at death's door. It seems like your heart's still beating though when you're dying, right? I mean, is that enough? Is that a vibration? I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. This is a tough situation.
If you knock, I don't know. I don't think you would kill Mitch with this. I think Mitch is probably not long for this world if he's in that bus any longer. But
So you're at the back door, right?
I'm 5 feet away from it.
Oh, I don't even know if I'll do enough damage to even matter against these oozes.
Oh, I bet you will.
Sure, to get their attention.
Og will be fine. You can drop it on Og. It's not going to hurt him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about try either.
Whatever gives you the most bang for your buck, I guess that would be.
To me, it's all about select. If you can settle for 3 oozes, that opens up a lot of options. But yeah, it's that 4th ooze.
Yeah.
For the listeners, there's a 4th ooze that's really
Outside
close
the
to,
bus.
Yeah, it's outside the bus. It's close to Og. It's close to Dry, and you've got to drag the fireball on top of Rundell to get him.
Let's save the player characters. We're gonna target the 3 oozes in the bus, but I think it's gonna tag Rundell as well.
Unless you take Mitch over Rundell. See that?
You're trying to save Rundell.
I think, okay, let's do it. Hey, it's your call. All right. 3 oozes in the bus.
How much, Brad? How much HP do you have?
I have 32 hit points.
The squares are what we're looking at, not the circle.
Correct.
Yeah, so I guess move it over so it doesn't hit the pig.
Okay.
The only reason is just not that it's going to be a total party kill, but like priority wise,
Rundell is one level lower than you guys. Okay. I'm with you. Okay. So you fire this fireball, it comes out the other side of the bus and explodes. And first of all, it takes out that side of the bus because we're having fun, right? It just, I mean, it can be repaired, but I mean, Mitch can get out the hole now pretty easy, I suppose, and the pig can too. It takes out that side of the bus. I'm going to do reflex saves. Let's do the oozes first, and then we will end with Rundell's reflex save, okay? Ooze A, reflex save. Not particularly reflexive. Natural 1 on ooze A for double damage. Very nice. Ooze B. I'm sorry, this is ooze D, the one that's on fire. Reflex save. Natural 1. I can't believe that just happened. It's 2 natural 1s in a row. Wow. Okay. Reflex save for ooze B. If I roll another natural 1, then something is wrong and this is broken. 10 on the die for a total of 20, which is a failure. Wow. Okay.
Nice.
So
nice.
Come on, Rundell.
Jeezy, crazy.
So all 3 fails since they're immune to
crit, right?
crits.
Oh, but is that a crit or is that a critical failure?
Can they crit fail?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's read before we get to this. Let's take a look at this.
I was wondering the same thing, Chris.
They're immune to critical hits. It says critical hits, but that was a basic save.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they did not get out of the way.
It's not like they're immune to making crit fails on saves.
Well, let's just let me look up what does an immunity to critical hits mean. Let me hit the archives in Nethys.
Well, this post that has 11 upvotes says that oozes are not immune to critical failures. Ooze immunity to critical hits only applies to critical successes from things that attack trait, as the critical hit rule specifies.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I don't know. I mean, I rolled 2 natural 1s. Why am I making saves at all, if they're just immune? Okay, well, I'm going to say that those 2 oozes critically fail. We're going to wait for damage here for just a second. I'm going to roll a reflex save for Rundell. He's fucked, guys. His mod right now is a +5.
Oh, he rolled shitty 2 times in a row, so...
Yeah, he could make it. I guess we'll just see.
He's gonna
okay,
you're
shall
gonna hit a natty 20 right here.
You're calling it.
There it is.
Okay.
Natty 20.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go.
No!
Oh,
Oh,
no! Wasn't that one?
Another
a natural
one. Oh, my God.
That is a natty
I just rolled.
1.
Oh,
I get a sword.
His sword
Natural
melted.
1s in a row.
Oh, my God.
I just rolled 3 natural 1s, one of whom was Rundell Joffritis. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
That's a bummer, man.
We'll come back to
Better him
Rundell.
than me.
Let's take the good news first. Please roll damage on your fireball.
All right, I'm going to click the roll damage button here.
Oh my God, that's a lot of dice.
That's a good roll.
28 damage.
So that's 28 damage. And then the one that, I don't know how I'd be able to tell this, but the one that didn't crit fail, I'll give an extra 3 for the blood magic.
Okay. Verdurous Ooze A, critically failed, will take, 56 damage?
56.
Yay!
Dies.
Oh, yes. God.
Verdurous Ooze D, critically failed, takes 56 damage, almost dies, still up. Verdurous Ooze B takes, what is that going to be, 28 plus 2?
Plus 3. 31.
20, okay, so 31 damage. He's up.
Like, I remember earlier, and Mike was like, these guys are up, but they're not looking that good. And they just took 56 damage, and he's still up.
Well, the problem is that they started with, they had such a high HP, and then they all got cut in half HP wise when they split, but it's still just a lot. Okay.
Which ones? Can you take the one that's dead off the screen?
I sure can.
Did that go through for 31 or 28?
I did the extra 3 damage after that. Rundell is lying on his back with his armor on, and the fireball ignites. It blows out the side of the bus. Rundell is just not positioned well for this. And, had he been positioned a little bit differently, maybe not, but shrapnel from the bus showers down on him. He is consumed in fire. And Mitchell, you've got a front row seat for this. And you just watch as the flesh is seared away from his body. And Mitchell, it is clear as day to you that Rundell is dead. Oof. On the bus. Oof. Anyway, we're taking new listener NPC submissions.
Oh my God. That's brutal. Jesus, a little respect, Mike.
Glenn Bob, sir, thank you for
the body's not even cold, but
Rundell.
I mean, the body's not even off fire yet. Like,
yeah. All right.
Look, he gave his life protecting the king.
He's gonna have amazing stories written about him. A mural in the city, maybe a building or two named after him. Statues, absolutely.
He's gonna have a statue in the courtyard.
Let's not get crazy.
Rundell's Rest or something.
You don't get to name things. We've talked about this.
You think Natala is waiting for him on the other side?
Possibly.
Yeah, they had a thing.
Oh no! Oh man, that'll be fun. Yeah, maybe I'll come up with a ghost encounter.
I'm going to be haunted because I took both of them out.
Yeah, seriously.
Should have just killed the king with the
body count.
Yeah, and Rundell's been with us for that full time hop, and I envision him kind of stepping into the same type of role that he was for Noleski.
Yeah, of
just because of his seniority and just his experience.
Yeah, explosions. He just can't handle them.
That was my first two actions.
That was your first two actions.
My third. Okay, so dismiss is an action, so I can dismiss as an action. So I guess that was my first action.
Oh, it had to have been,
was
sure.
to dismiss the wolf form, and then I cast the spell.
Good catch. Yeah, I forgot that you went full wolf. Okay. All right. Well, this would be Rundell's turn, but he would have gotten moved in the order to be before Syrio. But I guess there's just not much of a point for doing that now.
Rundell.
It would have been Ooze A's turn. Ooze A is done. Now it looks like Ooze D is the one that's on fire. Ooze B is the one that's next to Rundell. Okay. Man.
Could you play Rundell off the board too?
Oh no.
I can't.
That's difficult terrain.
I think that Ooze B would very likely be attracted to Mitchell and the pig because they're moving more than Dry Colmea is moving. There's a small chance he goes for Dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d6, okay? On a 1 or a 2, Mitch. On a 3 or a 4, pig. On a 5, Dry Colmea, and I'll just re-roll on a 6, okay? Okay. He starts heading for Mitchell with a 4 on that d6. First action, moves toward Mitch. Second action, targets Mitchell. Well, that's not his second action. Sorry, I already stated it. Second action, pseudopod. He wants to kill. He wants to eat. And I roll a 22.
That's a hit.
Okay. Damage.
Gotta need that armor.
16 damage to Mitchell.
Down to 16.
Subject to the multiple attack penalty. He's going again. Oh dear. 31.
I'm going to use a reaction.
Please do.
Disgust. It's a crit.
It's a crit. Okay.
That'll be dying too.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. All right. Zero check is in play, gentlemen.
Oh, fuck.
Is
that worth it?
Zero check that fireball. Well, that wouldn't matter.
I can't. Yeah, I can't use the zero check on anything here. So yeah, never mind.
32 damage.
Dying two.
Well, Chris, it's you against the
Mitchell
oozes.
to dying 2 with the crit that put him under.
Guys, the bus is a bad idea.
Yeah, dude, I'm never getting on another fucking bus again. Ever.
Mitch gets moved to be in the order before Oozeby. Dry Colmea is unconscious, serenely dreaming as the bus burns around him. Oh, God, it's Ogjulinus and Tompton at dying 1. It's his turn. Okay, DC 11 recovery check.
Natural 19.
Ooh.
Nice job.
Nice. Stabilize. Okay. You're good to go. 1. Okay, you go to wounded 1 and dying 0. It's Ooze C's turn. The ooze that was spared. Oh, God. Holy crap.
Fellas, we're fucked.
Yeah, we are.